So this truly is why it is so important to slow down for your own personal growth. This weekend I was reminded about a true fact of personal development that I somehow always seem to forget but get reminded of over and over again, and I think it's a really important one, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit today. And it is how slowing down for your own personal growth and for your development is actually really important. And what I mean by that is when we are on a mission to improve our lives, to improve our mental health, or to grow a business, or to manifest a desire or goal, we spend a lot of time learning and doing things, like doing activities, learning new things, trying new strategies, and although those things are so important and they're going to help us move along in our growth, something that is very underestimated and underappreciated is the very important step of slowing down. So when you are in the midst of doing all these things, you're doing the research, you're completing the healing modalities, you're searching for new ways to help yourself grow, there's this really integral part where you actually have to give yourself, give your body, give your nervous system, give your mind space to slow down so that you can integrate and so that the ideas and your next steps can come through. So if you're anything like me, I sometimes get into this place of overthinking. I start overanalyzing things, and I can get into these modes where I feel like I'm kind of stuck because I don't know what my next step is, and I try to do more research and I try to do more things. But something that the universe reminds me of that always inevitably comes about again and again and again is that the next step and the next idea come through when I take a breath and when I take a pause. That's when the clarity comes through. And that's the part that so many of us forget to do. We forget to slow down so that everything that we've been learning and doing can actually have the space it needs to fully integrate and to fully blossom. So that's something that happened to me recently. I was thinking about something that I wanted to do for my business, and I had this goal, but I didn't really know the steps to get there. And I had this vision of something I wanted, but it was a little bit blurry, and I couldn't really put the pieces together of what this thing was going to be that I wanted to create. I knew what I wanted it to have, like the effect that I wanted it to have and the impact I wanted it to have, but I didn't really know the formula and what it was going to look like, the thing that I wanted to create and to share with everybody in the world to help them on their own journeys. So I was doing a lot of research. I was joining webinars and I was doing researching online, and then it felt like the more I was doing that, the farther away I was getting from actually getting closer to completing the goal, because things were getting more fuzzy and less clear the more research I was doing. So then the other morning, I decided to do some yoga in the morning, and I woke up, I went to my room, got onto my yoga mat, and just seconds into this yoga routine, it came. The message came into my head. The idea that I had been searching for just flew in very easily, very organically, without any force. And it clicked in that moment. That was the thing that I had been searching for, the answer that I had been searching for, that I was trying to research and find my way into and almost like force my way into finding, just naturally flowed in once I took some time to just relax and be and just exist and be mindful and just do a completely different activity that was unrelated to the goal and the project that I was working on. That's when the answer came through for me. So I think that's a really important lesson to know, is that doing all this personal development work, it's really good. It's a great thing to do. It's going to bring you further on your journey. But while you're in the midst of doing that, it is also super important to create those times for space, for quietness, for rest, for disconnecting from your goal just for a little while, so that anything that is needing to come through actually has the space to come through for you. And those things can't come through unless you're taking the times to rest. Think about it like a glass, right? If you're filling a glass of water and the water is like all the action that you're taking, if you just keep pouring all that action into the glass, it's going to overflow. At some point, you have to take a sip of some of the water, and you have to make more space in the glass, create more space. And when you create more space, that's when the download, the idea, the thing that's coming through to get you unstuck is going to actually have room to come through. So this is something that I've experienced before. It's not the first time this has happened for me, but I feel like it's one of those things that's just easy to forget about when you're someone who's really ambitious and working towards a goal that's really important to you. You can forget about the times to relax so that your intuition can actually work for you and give you the messages you need in order to get to your next level. And what this looks like for me, like I shared this recent experience, it came through while I was doing yoga, right? Like I wasn't working on anything to do with my business. I was just moving my body very mindfully. So anytime I'm doing a mindful activity, whether that's yoga or meditation or going for a walk in nature or just spending time in nature, that's when my best ideas come through. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Like from everything I've shared today, it makes sense that we need to allow ourselves the space for your next breakthrough, for your next idea, for your next level of yourself to actually come to fruition. So if you're on your own personal development journey and you're doing all the things and you're finding yourself in a place of feeling frustrated or bitter or getting stuck or feeling negative about it, like any of these negative emotions are the sign to try slowing down, just to take a breath, take a step away from what you're doing. All the doing energy, all the action-oriented energy, just take a breath, take a break. Go outside, take some deep breaths, do some mindful meditation or do some exercise or just go for a walk in nature. Like take that time to exhale and just let yourself be. And I think when you do that, you will see that you too will have breakthroughs and intuitive messages just flow in. Make room for your intuition to flow. Make room for the universe to send you what you're needing to illuminate the path of your next step. So that's my advice for all of you today. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.